Hi, everybody. Thanks for giving me the time today to take some time to talk to you all. I have 5 minutes to give you 4 big tips from the Princess Bride about how to make communication in the hospital way less miserable between you, other providers, and your patients. Because communication is clearly the most exciting and important thing we do, right? So at the end of the day, it may not be the most exciting thing we do, but it is the most critical thing we do, and it's the thing we do most often. Most of our day is spent meeting new patients who need to know and trust us within 10 seconds, right? It doesn't look like this, right? This is what looks like fun, exciting emergency medicine to most people, right? And other than maybe ketamine, how about communication is the second most important thing in the emergency department? We okay with that? But at the end of the day, I'm bringing you 4 tips today. Tip number 1 is a pleasant greeting goes a long way. You have no idea how most everybody else's day goes in the rest of the hospital. And when your patients come and visit you, it's almost always the worst day of their life. And a simple, pleasant greeting goes a real long way in helping to bridge that gap between you and them at the start of your visit. Talking to your consultants is the same way. Until our consults look like this, you have no idea the mood of the person you're talking to on the other end of the phone, right? A little, "Hi, my name is Dan, thanks for calling me back," can go a real long way in, I don't know, hopefully making their life better. Hint number 2 is introduce yourself, right? Set your role on the team and make sure people know what you're there for, right? Other people in the hospital really don't always know what's going on, especially your patients when they're seeing 10 providers and 5 different consulting services on a regular basis. Some people have a lot of trouble setting their roles, right? Doogie Howser's a great example of that. No one ever knew what he was there for, right? But taking a simple step is saying, hey, I'm here to do exactly this thing, right? Establishing your role goes a long way. Hint number 3 is making connections, right? Because when you don't make this to people, connections help people to not jump to conclusions about you, right? People don't know who you are. People assume that you have a set plan established for them ahead of time, and so making a connection is important. And these should really be emotional connections, right? Simple emotional connections can go a really long way. You have to establish rapport with these people, with your patients, within the first 10, 15 seconds you're talking to them, and simple connections really help you do that. It doesn't really matter what the connection is, right? This could be a connection about your dog, right? It's the littlest things. I mean, dogs are great, #wellness, right? But the simplest little things are what help people trust and believe in you as a provider. And the final hint is to set expectations. A lot of people, when you talk to them in their initial presentation to the department, don't know where things are going, don't know what to expect in the hospital, and so setting expectations goes a long way, right? Hopefully our communications all look like this. Everybody looks just this happy when you go and talk to them, but things aren't always as easy as that, right? Setting great expectations helps to eliminate that challenge for people. We all know what happens when you don't really have expectations set. You go back and you try to talk to people again, and it just isn't exactly right. We can all think of pretty clear, obvious examples of when expectations weren't set right. We'll skip past the Tinder joke because that's too easy, because when expectations don't equal reality, right, everyone has a completely wrong outcome at the end of the day. You don't get the right information you want, your consultants don't help you how you want with the patients, and no one knows where our visit is going. Our 4 hints today come from a great role model because this helps us to remember exactly what we need to take from today. Our role model comes from the Princess Bride, right? Inigo Montoya was a gentleman who spent his entire life searching for the man who killed his father. And every time he meets a new suspect, he completes all 4 of our tasks for today. Because every time he meets someone new, he says exactly the same thing. "Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." These are our 4 hints for you today, right? It's as easy as that, right? His 15 seconds takes less time than this slide takes for you to complete all 4 of your objectives. So I'm going to remind you here, right? Number 1 is hello. A simple, pleasant greeting between you and your patients, or you and your colleagues, can go a long way to making everybody's worst days better, right? It doesn't have to take a lot, right? Simple greetings and a little bit of a smile can go a long way. Number 2 is introduce yourself. My name is Inigo Montoya. What is your role? How are you here to help your patients and help your fellow providers here in the hospital, right? We don't always have name tags. We'd like to. It's not always that simple, right? But establishing your role and introducing yourself goes a long way. Number 3, you killed my father. Hopefully not in that kind of emotional connection, right? But you killed my father, right? Setting this connection, showing people why you're there talking to them is really important. And number 4, prepare to die. Now, please don't set these expectations, but when it needs to happen, right? It doesn't matter if this is a hospice communication to a consultant, to somebody who is in the ER because they had a panic attack, right? Setting clear, simple expectations goes a long way, right? So remember, 4 tricks. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Thank you very much.
Daniel, thank you for that. I especially appreciate how you made the references to movies because it helps validate all that time I spent as a kid watching movies instead of doing my homework. It was great. Thank you.